Hello. Casinos are designed to be a fortress. They have the eye in the sky cameras tracking every hand dealt. They use facial recognition to spot known cheaters instantly. They have pit bosses, armed guards, and biometric scanners watching the vault. They're paranoid by design. You're probably thinking, you really need some high-level hacking skills to hack a casino. But what if I told you, all you need is an iPhone? In the gambling world, slot machines are one of the holy grails. Casinos make billions because slot machines are built on something called a random number generator. It's a mathematical fortress. It ensures that no human can predict when the jackpot will hit. It's supposed to be unhackable. But the security team at the Lumiere Palace Casino in St. Louis noticed something weird. They spotted a man playing an older model slot machine by Aristocrat Mark IV. But he wasn't playing it like a normal gambler. He wasn't hitting the button repeatedly, like you guys hit the like button. He would hold his phone up to the screen, wait a few seconds, and then hit the button. Then he'd do it again and again. He won over $21,000 in 2 days, and then he moved to the next casino. The security at the casino knew something was up, but they couldn't clearly pinpoint exactly what was going on at that time. And they weren't hacking some cheap knockoff brand either. They were coming for the king. It was built by Aristocrat Leisure, an Australian giant that is basically the Apple of slot machines. They're one of the largest slot machine manufacturers on the planet. If you ever walked into a casino in Vegas, Macau, or Sydney, you've seen their machines. The old Mark IV models were their workhorse. It was the industry standard for over a decade. It was built to be a tank, durable, reliable, and secure. Casinos loved it because it was a money printing machine that never broke down. These older machines were built on a pseudo-random number generator, PRNG. Hackers realized that pseudo-random isn't truly random. If you know the algorithm and you know the starting number, you could predict the future. First, the perpetrator would use his phone to record a video of the spinning reels. Then he would upload the footage to a massive server farm back in Russia. The Russian server would analyze the video, reverse engineer the pattern of the machine in real time, and calculate the exact millisecond the next jackpot would line up. Then the server will send a signal back to the perpetrator's phone. He didn't even have to look at the screen. He just had to hold the phone. The phone would vibrate exactly 0.25 seconds before he needed to press the button. Buzz, press, win. It was almost the perfect crime. They didn't have to hack the machine physically. They didn't have to pry it open. They hacked the timing. They were extracting millions of dollars from casinos all over the world, from Missouri to Singapore to Peru, using nothing but an iPhone and a server in St. Petersburg. His name was Murat Bliev. He was an operative for a Russian cybercrime syndicate in St. Petersburg. The FBI St. Louis division, working in conjunction with the Missouri Gaming Commission, eventually caught Bliev, but only because he got greedy. He came back to the US for a second round. He was indicted on conspiracy to commit fraud. Murat eventually pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 2 years in federal prison, followed by a swift deportation back to Russia. But the scary part, the casinos couldn't fix it. There was no simple software patch. The vulnerability was baked into the math of tens of thousands of older machines. Aristocrat quickly addressed the issue, and all the new Aristocrat machines are completely free of this exploit. But for a while, the only defense these casinos had was to watch the security cameras looking for anyone holding their phone a little too close to the screen. The eye in the sky. The slot machine hack was a battle of mathematics, and Murat lost because he forgot the golden rule. The house is always watching. But for our next crew, the thieves aren't hiding from the lens. They're looking through it. In 2013, the Crown Casino in Melbourne, Australia suffered one of the biggest heists in history. And it wasn't done by a master thief. It was done by a New Zealand millionaire named James Manning. Manning was a whale, a VIP. He was invited to the casino by a specific VIP manager. He sat down at a private high-stakes blackjack table and played just 8 hands. In those 8 hands, he won $32 million. At first, they thought it was card counting. Card counting is a method of keeping track of the low-value cards as you play, and then in theory, a player can increase their bet when they know the odds are in their favor. They thought the cards were marked, but the deck was clean. Now nobody's that lucky. Security reviewed the tapes and realized the impossible. Manning was betting perfectly. He knew exactly when to hit and when to stay, every single time. The investigation revealed that this wasn't an external hack, it was an inside job. The VIP service manager had given an accomplice unauthorized remote access to the casino's high-resolution security cameras. These cameras are so powerful, they can zoom in on a fly across the room. The accomplice was watching the live feed, zooming in on the dealer's cards as they were shuffled, and whispering the moves to Manning through a hidden earpiece. So they went to jail, right? Nope. The casino caught Manning before he could cash out the full $32 million. They brought him into the back room, stripped him of all his winnings, and banned him for life. The VIP manager was fired on the spot, but the Crown Casino refused to press charges. Manning got off lucky. Why? Because a public trial would have revealed exactly how vulnerable their security system was. They preferred to sweep it under the rug rather than lose their reputation. The house always wins, but when they don't, they definitely know how to hide the loss. The fish tank casino hack. Everyone knows that casino security is no joke. You have to be a little bit crazy to try to get away with anything at a casino. In this next story, one major North American casino forgot to watch one thing: the fish. Because one of the weirdest heists in modern history didn't involve digging a tunnel or cracking a safe. It started with a thermometer. We can't name any specific casino for legal reasons, but picture a massive high-end establishment in North America. To attract high rollers, casinos need glamour. They need spectacle. And this particular casino decided to install a massive show-stopping aquarium right in the lobby. We're talking about exotic fish, vibrant coral, a real centerpiece. Now, keeping expensive tropical fish alive is tricky. The entire ecosystem has to be perfect. So the casino bought a state-of-the-art aquarium measuring system. It had sensors for salinity, pH levels, and crucially, an internet connection. It allowed the aquarium manager to check the tank temperature from an app on their phone while sitting at home playing Minecraft. Convenient, right? But ask anyone in cybersecurity. Convenience is usually just another word for vulnerability. Somewhere on the dark web, a hacker group was scanning for targets. They weren't looking for the casino's main firewall, that's way too much work. They were looking for the digital equivalent of an unlocked bathroom window, and they found it in the fish tank. See, this smart thermometer had an IP address. It was connected to the casino's Wi-Fi, so it could send those temperature updates to the internet. We don't know exactly how they got in. It could have been an old password or an unpatched software flaw. Regardless, they compromised the device. So they hacked the thermometer. What could they do? Change the temperature and annoy the fish? No. The casino made one crucial mistake. The fish tank wasn't on a separate isolated network. It was on the same network as everything else in the casino. Once the hackers owned the thermometer, they used it as a jump-off point. They started scanning the internal network. They moved from the lobby fish tank to the network routers. They bypassed the heavy outer defense because the call was coming from inside the house. And then they found the gold mine. Inside the casino's computers, the hackers discovered a high roller database. This isn't just names and emails. This is wealth profiles, gambling habits, credit lines, personal preferences, the kind of data worth money on the black market. For a list of verified high rollers, buyers will pay a premium. The estimated value for this specific database would likely sell for anywhere up to $25,000 on the dark web markets. But stealing the data is only half the battle. You have to get it out. The casinos have intense firewalls designed to stop mass amounts of data from leaving the network abruptly. If the server suddenly tried to upload 10 gigs of data to suspicious servers in one go, the alarm would go off instantly. So the hackers got creative. They siphoned it back to the fish tank thermometer. They configured the thermometer to slowly trickle the high roller database out to the cloud, disguised as normal network traffic. Imagine a bank robber sneaking gold bars out of the vault by hiding them in the janitor's mop bucket, one bar at a time. The only reason we know this story is because the casino has recently hired a cyber defense firm. Dark Trace combines multiple AI models to understand what normal for your organization looks like and reveal unusual behavior. Their AI noticed something weird. The lobby aquarium was suddenly uploading to a massive database to an unknown IP address in Finland at 3 a.m. The security team investigated, realized what was happening, and severed the connection. But by then, an undisclosed amount of high roller data was gone. This story sounds funny, but the implications are terrifying. In cybersecurity, they have a saying: a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Today, your network isn't just your laptop. It's your phone, your TV, your lights, and maybe even your refrigerator. Every single one of those devices is a potential open window to your life. And the hackers can use your coffee machine to get into your bank account. The casino spent millions guarding the front door, but they got robbed because they forgot to lock the fish tank. So we have a casino hacked by a thermometer in a fish tank, and another was hacked by a vibrating iPhone. Both of these stories tell us the same thing. We like to think of security as big, thick walls and armed guards. But in the modern world, the walls are made of code. The hackers didn't need to break down the wall, they just had to find that one tiny device that everyone else ignored. Do me a favor, hit the like button. And the next time you want to buy a smart device, ask yourself, does my toothbrush really need Wi-Fi? Looks like my washer and dryer are done. Stay safe and stay salty.